Go. Good afternoon, TCC, the Cosplay Connection. This is Terrence Baker coming to you with Tccam number 4 and number 5. And today I have the absolute privilege and honor and the pleasure of interviewing for the first time on TCC and ICC as well, Mr. David Hankerson. I want to tell you, first of all, that this individual here is one of the most incredible people I've met in the last couple of years. Since I created ICC 3 years ago, I've done conventions, comics, all that stuff. You know how we do. That's how I roll. And I'm getting a chance now to network and meet people. And I met Mr. Hankerson, I think it was 2 years ago at Space Coast Con.
Yes.
I met Ashley and Terry and Andrew and a few other people around the same time I met David. And let me tell you, David is a person that is doing amazing things. So first thing I want to do is say thank you.
It's a pleasure, thank you.
Welcome to the Tccam interview. And we really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule. And trust me, when I say busy, this man is busy. He does everything. Today is Sunday, but he managed to take some time out of his busy schedule to come and sit down for the interview. So I really appreciate that. David, I am delighted that I finally have a chance to sit down with you in this wonderful establishment. You guys may know where we are or may not, but it's incredible. And David is a man of much knowledge. David is doing a lot of things in the independent scene, and we're going to take a few minutes today and talk to him about a few things that he do. Let's start with the essence of what we're doing, cosplay, the Cosplay Connection. Let's talk about your cosplay. David, how long have you been cosplaying approximately?
Okay, well actually it all started with my job at Barnes & Noble. We had a Harry Potter release. We've had Harry Potter release parties now for a good 10, 15 years almost. And every time we had a release party, I would dress for the part. And it was something that I had a lot of fun. It was a blast, and it was something I continued. So informally cosplaying, I've been doing it, 10 to 15 years. But formally though, doing conventions has been like the last 3 years or so.
Wow, 10 to 15 years. That's amazing. What do you have right now? Do you have any like some of your favorite cosplay characters that you like to cosplay?
Oh yeah.
Occasion.
Yes. I'm a big comics fan. So I have a Nightwing that I had, and it started out as a casual cosplay, and then there's just burgeoned, and I'm adding things to it. Gambit for Marvel. That's another one that's awesome, and I just did a steampunk Green Lantern. So that's one.
Wow. And I've seen both of the ones he's talking about. I've seen him as Nightwing and Gambit at a few conventions previously, Space Coast and ICC Con. And let me tell you, David does an incredible job. I mean, personally, I don't know how he makes his costumes. That really doesn't matter. Some people store buy, some people make them from scratch. But David looks particularly like the character that he dresses up to be. And that's pretty incredible. Everybody can't pull it off, but you do. I enjoy cosplaying myself, and I'm learning. Tell me from your perspective, what's the hardest thing to do in cosplay as far as like, what do you think, putting a costume together or going to different places, traveling? Is there a difficult challenge for you when it comes to cosplay? Is there anything that's hard to do about it?
Well, initially you have an idea of what you want to look like, what the character is, and capturing that essence of that character, and then bringing it to life.
Okay.
I mean, definitely there's budget constrictions.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know,
Budget. Cost money.
Exactly. Finding the right materials, finding the time to put it all together, and especially in a tight time frame.
Okay.
But those are some of the challenges in the beginning. But it's great. It's an exercise in creativity, and once you're finished with the end product, it's awesome. But of course, you're never ever satisfied because you want to take it to the next level. But it's a great process. It's a learning process. It's creative.
And I'm learning too. I see so many variations of cosplay. There's so many. The social media is just it's full of it. You can just click online any day and see a different convention, event. It's all over. Cosplay is here to stay, people. It's something that gives me personally a means to act and portray myself as another character. David, do you find that cosplaying gives you that same escape? You get a chance to be somebody different, or it's just an alley to, what does it do for you personally when you dress up as a character?
Oh, in a sense, it's kind of empowering that you can bring
There you go.
your imagination to life, and and your vision is what other people see as well. It's like, oh, I've accomplished this. It's just like painting a picture and having people appreciate that picture that you've made to come to fruition. So that's in that sense, it's a sense of accomplishment. It's about bringing that creativity and having other people understand what you're doing and can relate to it.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. Some things that I enjoy also, like when I'm actually dressed up as characters, like from the children to adults, they come up to you, hey, how are you doing? Whatever your character is. A lot of times, can I get a picture with you? Do you find that you have some satisfaction when you get that as well? Like,
oh yeah, definitely. That's a way of when you run into people who recognize what you're doing, and that's kind of a pat on the back that I've accomplished this, that they recognize what I'm doing. I do my own spin on things.
Okay.
It's a little bit different, but it's great that they can recognize the essence of the character, and that's what I try to portray in cosplay. It's not about looking exactly like your character or being the right ethnicity or gender. It's about capturing that essence of that character you're trying to cosplay. And so when they can recognize that essence in what you're doing, then to me it's a pat on the back.
and I'm telling you, again, David, if you see him in, obviously we're going to post some pictures in the video afterwards. He does a great job. I mean, just from the environment that I've seen David in, people that come up and talk to him, David is an intelligent, bright, outgoing man, and he has a personality that a lot of people, they like talking to him, and you can see that, the conventions. I see him all the time, and the kids are like, can we take a picture? Adults are like, hey, that looks great. You get to a point where you're doing such a great job like he is, that it's almost a given. People are going to come up to you, even when you're trying to walk away on the elevator and go out there. Okay, tell me how your cosplay is different now, today, from when you first started it so many moons ago. How have you either improved, or what's different about it now?
It's all about the details. The little touches that you do. Of course, you can always get a shirt or make a shirt or buy a shirt that will tie into what your character would wear, buy a prop or accessory, or make one. And you can add to that and people get the essence of it. So now I'm a little bit more detailed on what I want to do. I'm going to take it to the next level. I'm trying to incorporate technology as much as possible. One of my favorite cosplays is a steampunk Dr. Facilier from The Princess and the Frog.
Hey.
He's the villain, and my spin was steampunk. I have a group of friends who are really into the Disney villains, and we all did a steampunk take on that. And I incorporated lights into it as well. So it's kind of mirroring. He's into magic, so the closest approximation of magic I could do is using technology.
Technology, there we go. He's doing that now.
So that's what I'm doing. The details of my cosplays and adding technology to it as well.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's pretty amazing. I can recall when I did my first cosplay so many months ago. It was like a piece of tape and a glove or something that looked horrible. But I'm still doing a lot of store, but I'm trying to get into making them too, and getting like David with the technology. It just adds to the essence of it.
But what I have to say though, whether you buy it or make it, or even if it's your first one though, it's the fact that that's your first step.
Listen.
I mean, you should be proud of what you do.
Knowledge.
It's all about what makes you happy, and then the longer you're into it, of course, you're going to be more detailed and more elaborate in your cosplays.
Okay.
But you have to celebrate what you do. I mean, it's the first step. Most people don't do that.
Yeah.
And don't make that effort. So I'm celebrating whatever you do, however baby steps you take.
It's like you said, cosplay is for everyone. So with that, we're going to go into the next part of the interview and talk about the current cosplay that he has and that he bought with us. David bought something for us today, so let's go into that. And here we are. This is David's next cosplay. Tell us a little bit about it, sir.
Okay, this is my homage to Harry Potter's Fantastic Beasts. I'm playing a character from that movie and also the book, Newt Scamander. So this is kind of my take on that character from the movie. As you can see, I have my wand, his coat, which is signature, and of course his suitcase that was full of the Fantastic Beasts.
That is perfect, Dave. Thank you. Tell us a little bit about David Hankerson as a person, as an individual. You're an incredible individual. Every person that I know that knows you has nothing but good things to say about him. Let me say that again. Good things to say about David. He has a wonderful personality. He's a people person, which is probably one of the reasons he's in the position that he's in, in his regular life. And he's a traveling person. David, I know he goes different places. I mean, I'm looking at him, I'm following him sometimes on Facebook. He's there, he's here. I'm like, wow, he travels more than I do. Well, anyway, tell us a little bit about you as a person.
Probably it's kind of hard to describe. I enjoy what I do in life, and I think that's the essence of it. It's you have to enjoy life. I mean, you only have such a finite amount of time, so you need to enjoy as much of it as possible. Surround yourself with good people who are like-minded and willing to experience life with you. And that's essentially my life. I love what I do at my job. I mean, granted, it's not always perfect, as in anything, but I enjoy what I do at work. I think it carries over into my life and spills over as well. And I try to get as much possible. I have a lot of good friends, and I love having good experiences. And it could be as simple as going to a good restaurant with a couple of people. I mean, that makes it into an experience, and that's what I enjoy.
Yeah, we got a lot in common because my wife and I are the same way. We love good company, we love good people. That's one thing that I try to preach myself, Terrence. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals and individuals that are going to uplift you. On social media, often more than not, you see a lot of negativity and people. I don't know. Get away from that. And obviously, David is a person who promotes positivity, and obviously it works. Again, the cosplayers that I know that recommended me to try to get David on an interview, everybody has nothing but incredible things to say about you. So obviously, whatever you're doing, David, is working. It's working.
Or I just surround myself with really good people.
There you go. All right. So yeah, David, he does management at a particular store, and he's exposed to a lot of people in that way. So that brings up another subject, and David's not prepared for me to ask him this because we hadn't rehearsed or talked about the interview or anything. Is there a chance, because I'm starting to work with photographers now who do magazines, independent magazines at certain venues, is that a possibility for certain individuals if they wanted to get their magazine? How can you tell an individual who has a photography magazine about cosplay how he can get it out to the public? Like what kind of venues, stores, and areas and stuff like that? If he has no idea, what advice can you give us?
Oh yeah, definitely. I work for Barnes & Noble, and it's a matter of getting in contact with your local store, because our stores try to be as much a community center as possible, a place where people can go, share, exchange ideas, obviously shop for books, but it's a focal point for the community as well. So my recommendation for people wanting to, prospective authors or with local magazines, is to get to know your store, get to know the management in the store, and from there they can point you into the way that it's a possibility for you to get inroads into the store. So that's the most important thing. Know your management at that particular location that you're located at.
There you go. And me personally, I love Barnes and Nobles. I was there before I met David. I mean, I'm there like with the Comics Creative magazines, Photoshop magazines, art, you name it. I spend some of my time there. You might not catch me at all the football games, but you might catch me in Barnes and Noble. That's just me. I got a membership there. So, and it was quite enlightening for me when I found out that David, has ties with that. That's one of the reasons I was one of the guests at Merritt Island, Barnes & Noble, because of this person here. He that's what I'm saying. He does that. He networks. He promotes it. He helps people out. Let me say that again. He helps people out. Okay, that's David for you. Okay, so I appreciate you professionally and what you do. Everybody that's an independent does, and that's some good advice. And somebody needs to really listen to that. David, tell us some more about you personally. I know that I saw on social media you do some competitive figure skating. I had no idea.
Yes, I do competitive roller figure skating.
I had no idea. I just saw it one day. Actually, my wife said, "Hey, look what David's doing." So I ran in there to the computer screen. I was like, "That's David. We know him." And he had on. I don't know anything about it. Tell me about it.
Well, Think of it, the easiest way is to think of ice skating, competitive ice skating, except you're doing it on wheels. So it's essentially roller skating. So what you see, the jumps, spins, the dance events, those elements are all wrapped up in roller figure skating. It's all inclusive age-wise, so you can get kids who are as young as 3 and 4 on up to people who are 99 years competing in their various age divisions.
Wow. I didn't know anything about it, and I saw David. I was like, look, he's not only doing the cosplays, being in management at the position he's in, and all the other things. He's doing that too. I mean, when I say you have a 360-degree person here that does a lot of different things, that's David. He's doing that, and I'm inspired because David is one of the people that inspires me. There's certain artists, there's certain photographers, filmmakers, writers, all that. That's a given. But when I met this person, and I saw incrementally what he does, I'm like, that. He's fantastic. He's really a good individual. And I'm not trying to, blow him up or anything. I'm telling the truth about David, and people that watch this interview will know that. That's incredible. It really is. All right, I want to get back to the essence of the interview, which is cosplay. Where can we expect to see David in the future, like some particular events, and anything that the fans can look forward to in the future, in the near future or far future? What's coming up next for David?
Well, I try to support whatever local cons that happen. Unfortunately, with my schedule, it's so hard to just block out time because I have to work that within my competitive roller skating schedule and everything else that I do. So I have to work around it. So when I can, whatever opportunities I do like to do, support the local cons. Definitely though, MegaCon in Orlando, it's been my go-to con for the last couple of years. It's humongous, it's overwhelming, it's a lot of fun. I see so many people there. I get inspiration by being there. So that's a always go-to con. Okay. This year, hopefully, I can probably make it to Dragon Con in Atlanta. That's one that's on my bucket list to hit.
And I've never been to Dragon Con. I'd like to go there too. We want to try to go as well. So who knows? We may see each other there among some other people. And what else?
And then definitely, of course, my local go-to, the Space Coast Comic Con, ICC Con.
Yeah.
I look forward to that. Great local con to be there and to see a lot of independent artists and support the community. So that's definitely on my radar.
ICC. So David knows that he has a seat there already. Last year, it was this year, we did ICC Con too. And David was one of the participants with Cause of Commotion in their setup.
Yeah, great group.
And I think I have a couple pictures of that somewhere, but I'm going to see if I can find some later. David is he's just, when you look at him, it's like he becomes that character. I mean, really, he truly does. Some people could just put on a costume and say, okay, I'm this person. Kind of like me, but then you have people like David who they really, they become that character. So we appreciate that. We appreciate everything that you do for us. We appreciate everything you do in the cosplay community. We appreciate everything you do business-wise. David, is there anything else that you'd like to, tell the audience or anything before we get ready to close? Because I really am so thankful that you gave me this opportunity today.
Oh, just that basically enjoy it. Go out there, do it. Don't worry about what other people think. Just go out there for yourself, enjoy it, and then everyone else will appreciate it because it's coming from you inside.
There you go. And with that, I'm going to give him a high five 2 times. 1, 2. All right, TCC. So that's pretty much going to wrap up the interview today with Mr. David Hankerson, one of the best people that I've had the honor of meeting and knowing in the last couple of years. And I hope David sticks around for a while because I know he's got a lot more things coming up for not just cosplay, but perhaps Barnes & Noble and events and stuff like that. This is a person to know. Let me say that again. This is a person to know, all right? All right, so we thank David for taking the time, and as in departing, this is Tccam number 4. We normally say bye ICC, but today we're actually making it official with David, and we're going to say bye TCC. So on 3, we're going to say bye TCC. 1, 2, 3. Bye TCC.